and and ready to end the week strong. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Another clean break of the let's just go to the NASDAQ chart here. Very, very nice opening range breakout yesterday. So let's go like this. Let's just turn off my EMA here. 21. Okay. So yesterday we had a very, very nice break of that opening range low. And the last 2 days have been quite runaway days in terms of trading into the one direction. So the opening range low break worked yesterday. You could see just clean break of that opening range on the 5-minute time frame. For me and my algos that I'm running with Edgeful, I've personally got the 5-minute up and running there. And just a very nice break to the downside on Wednesday, we had a break to the house on that ran as well. So last 2 days have been pretty nice in terms of the algo trading, I must say. Interesting price action that we are getting overnight. We actually did close back inside the opening range on the NASDAQ. But again, like this is what I was seeing yesterday, and I actually made money shorting YM yesterday live on stream. But look at that. Yesterday making lower highs, okay, into the open, and then we get the flush down. I'm kind of seeing the same thing today as yesterday. Is we are making lower highs now pre-market too. Just keep in mind we do have some news that is coming out at I think it is 10 a.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4 p.m. South African time. We do have news coming out, so be wary of that. We got consumer sentiment and then also Canadian dollar news as well now in the next 27 minutes. But any questions? How's your guys' week been? What's up, Laura? Good to have you on. Leo, what's up, Eddie? Good to see you guys here on the Edgeful Discord as well. If you got any questions, and let me know how your week's been. We can maybe discuss a few things. Also, just a heads up in the Edgeful Discord, be careful of scams. I'll not message you first or anything like that in terms of that. So, Hoa, I did message you the other day just to see how your week's been and everything like that. And I think I had a question about the algos or something like that. But because I saw you in the algo chat too. But please be careful of scams. No one's going to message you asking for money or anything like that. But okay, so coming into today, as I said, I think until we take out these pre-market levels here on the NASDAQ at 350, I think I'm still going to be looking mainly for shorts. Of course, I don't want to be fading trend. We are trading above that weekly VWAP as well, quite well above it. The weekly VWAP currently sitting at 190. So, we don't want to be fighting trend, but I think yesterday was quite a nice short day to the downside. And in terms of trades, that's kind of where I'm at. Now, I can speak a little bit about my YM trade as well yesterday, and it was very, very nice. Obviously, this carries on melting the whole session, but I was in and out of this kind of within, a minute. I shorted back my targets or the previous day's lows, which is that white dotted line coming across my screen. But simple, break of that opening range low, and I'm looking for previous day's lows, and that's what we get. YM's actually given some few nice setups this week in terms of shorts. Like on Wednesday as well, we get a flush down to the downside. Same as I took this trade live on stream on Tuesday as well. So I've had some nice trades in YM on stream this week, and it's been pretty neat. But again, just using that opening range breakout, and I targeted at the pre-market lows. We got a question here from Eddie in the chat. What reports would you recommend to watch today on NQ with the highest probability of success? Again, I'm kind of using 2 to 3 mainly. The ones that I like is the opening range breakout. Of course, I'm always monitoring that on the 5-minute time frame. And then in terms of the first hour, that opening candle continuation report has been very, very nice for me. So that's what's been working for me, and we can actually switch over to that opening candle continuation report. Let's go to YM, and let's go to the opening candle continuation report. Let's just go last 3 months, okay? And that we can see first hour being bullish, 76% of the time closing as a bullish closing day, and vice versa for the short, 66. Of course, we have been in a bull market. It just one day at a time. But that's been working well for me. Have you or anyone else had any success trading off the high probability double break for orbs on London or Asia? I have not. But I do know that some guys do trade in the London session. I personally have not, Ollie. I don't trade NQ in the London session. The only index or asset that I will trade in London is the DAX, FDAX, which is can trade with CFDs or futures. That is That is the German stock market index, the DAX, right? And the opening range, I'm busy running some algos on it as well, as been working pretty nicely for me as well. But yeah, I don't trade NQ in the London session, but I mean, you can go and test it. There's not, I personally haven't tested, but maybe that is something that you could have a look at. But again, in terms of reports, just back to Eddie's question, I love using that opening range breakout, particularly because you have a stop loss placement and maybe a target. And then, that's just what I've been rocking with the last, in terms of my index trading since Edgeful came around. I've kind of adapted to I used to trade a lot of currencies for about 5 years. And the last 2 years, I've been trading mainly, a year and a half, maybe trading a lot of indexes. And that's what's been working for me. And Edgeful have helped me a lot in terms of gathering that data and looking at that. I do trade a bit of stocks from time to time, and we can also have a look at like Nvidia. Also works on the stocks. Like, look at this first hour on Nvidia, 75%. If the first hour is bullish, we close as a bullish closing day, and vice versa for the short, 70% of the time. You can go to even like an Apple, bit of a slower moving stock, but you can see 68 and 75 in the last 3 months, right? Tesla. You can have a look at this too. Tesla, 74 and 72, or 73, you can round that up. So yeah, just I love that opening candle continuation. You can also change it, customize it to like the first 30 minutes. Maybe that's something that you can have a look at. Certain stocks or indexes might work better. Here we go. Here's a perfect example. Tesla, the first hour in the last 3 months, first 30 minutes is 80% of the time and 76. So that could give you great gauge in terms of what price action you want to be trading in, And yeah, this stuff is simple, but for me, I think trading from a discretional trading perspective, using data like this should be simple. For me, the main thing what I do is I pick a max daily loss limit for the day, and I stick to that, and I take solid setups based around my Edgeful reports that I enjoy trading. Leo, good to have you on, bro. Good to have you on. But yeah, how's your week been? Hoa, how's your week been? Anyone else here? You want to share how the week's been? Anything that you're struggling with, maybe we could speak about. But yeah, trading is not going to be perfect all the time. Our perfect setup's going to fail 100%. So you're not going to win 100% of the trades. I like the RB by rejection, worked well on yesterday with NQ. Brilliant. Yeah. So if we go to the RB by rejection, so that would be, if we put the initial balance on, that would be a great trade. So we can go to the initial balance breakout. Let's turn off the opening range. That's also probably a third one that I like to use. I more prefer the opening range, the first 15 minutes, but the RB works well too. Sometimes also, I think what I found is you get some nice, easy reads if you just wait for like the first hour, 30 minutes of market open. And what Eddie's speaking about here is that we get the RB, so the first hour is high, the first hour is low. We take out the downside. We come back into the range and we kind of reject that, 0.25. And you probably looked for shorts here at 264, Eddie, if I'm not mistaken. Is that kind of like where you're looking in to get at? Ollie, made more money from my algos and sticking to my manual model. Lost some R testing a couple of things. Yeah. So again, I think a lot of the times trading discretionary can be quite tough because emotions can sometimes run high. You maybe overtrade, over position size. And that's what I said now is from a discretional trading perspective, obviously I got the algos running in the background, but from a discretional trading perspective, I have a max daily loss limit for the day and I stick to that, try and end the week green. That's as simple as, in simple terms, how I try to just keep it, not overcomplicate stuff. But yeah, I agree. Even look at that, Ollie, like here's the opening range. Okay, we break the opening range low. You could have looked for some shorts back in here on NQ back, or kind of back to the same level would be that the opening range low, but you obviously use the RB rejection. So some great reports here that I love to use in my trading. And again, just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, I got 2R from that level. So I'm assuming you kind of traded it maybe like this, with maybe a stop like that back at middle of the range, and then you're getting like your 2R. That's a brilliant trade. Fantastic. This is the trades that you look for. Yeah, nice. Very, very good work, Ollie. That's solid, dude. Yeah, so obviously for me, being based in South Africa, I like to trade that DAX in the London session. I really do enjoy it. I've made good money trading it, and I think it moves very, very. The DAX does move very similarly to the NQ. They do tend to kind of mirror each other, and also they got like very similar like stop placements, in terms of like stop loss size. You can see the DAX sitting on 24,700 and NQ sitting on 25,300. But yeah, I'll do this live pre-market every single Wednesday through to Friday with Edgeful here at 8 a.m. Normally for about 10 minutes or so. I don't like to keep it running too long. There's just, no need. I showed you my trade yesterday on the YM. I showed you a couple of reports that you can look for. Again, there's no secret to, long-term trading. For me, I've been trading 7.5 years. At some point, you get too overcrowded with too much information, and then you just want to make it as simple as possible. I think when you flood yourself with too many reports or too much information, it can be quite overwhelming. So just keep your trading simple. Trade, have a max daily loss limit set in place if you are discretionary trading, and just take good setups. Be more patient in your entries, take good setups, and take it one day at a time. And yeah, that's right. Get in the chat here. Share your thoughts in the Edgeful Discord. Trading can be lonely at times, for sure. It's not the most fun game, especially when you are losing and you by yourself. So get in the chat here. Share your thoughts. I'm always going to, be in here sharing my ideas, my thoughts, my trades. And yeah, I'm not claiming to know it all, but I know how to make money long term. So it's you're going to have good and bad times. You're just going to ride the wave and try and keep as neutral as possible from an emotional side of things. But yeah, I hope some of you guys are, a lot of you guys probably trading with prop firms, which so am I, getting some payouts. I had one last week that was nice. And I hope that you guys are on the brink of getting some too. So have a good rest of your Friday. I'll be in there in the chat as I said, and then yeah, we'll check you on. We'll check you on for the rest of the day. I'll be live in my live trading room as always. The link is in my bio if you're watching me online on social media. But link in my bio over here. Okay, use the code FIRST for free month, and check Edgeful out as well. The link is in my bio there too. So have a good trading day, guys. And we'll see you